Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to another P3D video. Today we're going to have a look at the Airbus A330. The Airbus A330 is a release from Aerosoft encompassing the wide body heavy jet airliner, which boasts quite a lot of features and is most likely, I think, their best release to date. Now, the A330 is a long-range Airbus airliner with fly-by-wire systems, redesigned wing with winglets, and a new aircraft offering the choice of either two engines, Rolls-Royce Trent or Pratt & Whitney. As with the A330, or with four engines such as the A340. The maximum capacity for the A330 is 440 passengers, but a shorter fuselage, the A330-200, can carry 406 passengers. The first prototype flew on November the 2nd, 1992, and the major airlines that used it were Thai Airways International, Cathay Pacific, Malaysia Airlines, and Korean Air. And a total of 524 A330s was ordered by the summer of 2005, with 356 being delivered. The A330 is also the basis for the A350, which is a direct competitor to Boeing's 787. Its maximum range is 10,371 kilometers, which is 6,444 miles. And has a takeoff field length of 2,514 meters. The A330, I feel, is Aerosoft's crowning achievement in their Airbus series. It encompasses everything that they've learned before, and it is very in-depth. In short, for P3D, it is the best rendition of the A330 possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at her from the outside, and then going to have a look at her from the inside in the next video. First disclaimer is that I'm not an A330 captain. I have never piloted an A330 in real life. And really, I'm not much of an Airbus flyer anyway. So I'm completely new to flying Airbus and how they operate. In fact, I've had this plane for a month to get used to it and be able to fly it properly. In order to do this review. So, I mean, the outside, it looks really super detailed. I mean, it looks astonishing, you know, plenty of detail. Even going as far as modeling the inside here of the, you know, the cargo area. You could even get things loaded in here. I mean, that's pretty good, that is. The engines themselves, I mean, look at that engine there. That looks really super detailed. Let's just go inside of it. Look at the detail all inside here that you probably wouldn't really see. The spinning blades. Really super detailed. Well done, Aerosoft. You did a really good job. I mean, Aerosoft's Airbus series aren't known for being like 100% accurate. It's more about getting the experience of piloting a commercial airliner than actually simulating the commercial airliner. And I think Aerosoft do a good job of their Airbus series. I'm not a big Airbus fan, but I enjoy flying the Airbus from Aerosoft because, as I say, I'm not really an Airbus pilot flyer, really. I'm more of a Boeing person. I prefer Boeing planes, so therefore I invest my time and money more into Boeing than I do Aerosoft. So this does actually do the job for me. If I want to fly an Airbus, I'd probably choose to fly this one. You know, it's really, really good. The detail on it, I mean, look at that. The A330. And of course, GSX works straight out of the box with it. That's one of the things that I really like, is that it's integrated. In fact, GSX is integrated pretty much into the systems of here. So if we actually say called the fuel trucks, it would soon come over and fuel her up. Now, let's, I mean, the modeling of this plane is not perhaps as detailed as, say, the 787 from Quality Wings. I'd say they've got an uppercut there. If you get close to some of these textures, they do then go looking a bit low res. But that might just be a case of having to tone it down for how complex, you know, their A330 is when you compare it to other planes as well, you know. Other Airbus of their family. One of the great things with this plane as well is the documentation that you get with it. So there are numerous amounts of pieces of documentation here that come with it. In fact, the checklist system, there's literally 3 different versions of the checklists. If, like me, you've never flown Airbus before or a complete noob, the Normal Procedures Volume 2 basically is an actual step-by-step of what you need to do, and it really kind of mirrors the Airbus family for the A318, 19, 20 and 21. So if you've got those checklists, you can pretty much use those for this as well. They're pretty much the same, except it says A330 Professional instead of the A3 family series. There is also an intermediate checklist. So this one is just Procedures Volume 3, and it kind of has everything set up that you can check, but it's more of a condensed version. So literally it's 4 pages long, so you could literally have this inside of a booklet and utilize this rather than the 20-page version, which really goes into detail. But once you start flying this for a while, you're going to be like, I don't really need that big thick one. This one will do. And then of course for the pros, there is a normal checklist, which basically is a condensed bridged version of the previous one. So it literally just tells you what are essential items before you take off. Now you will need to know the fill in the gaps pieces. So it's really got a checklist for all users of this. There isn't really an operations manual for this. That's a little bit lacking. Like maybe documentation about the history of the A330 as well, but to be honest, that's fine. A quick Google search of that will turn that up. Another thing that comes with it as well is the flight fuel planner. So bringing this up, you can actually, and this obviously is a fuel planner that's set for them all, but you basically choose which one you're doing. You can then choose your departure ICAO code. So we are here at KTPA. Let's say if we wanted to fly to Miami, which would be very ridiculously short. And then all you have to do is fill in the rest. The wind direction is blowing 1103. The wind direction 1103. And then you would just need your other pieces of information here, which I don't really have. But we can just make it up. Let's say if we're taking 208 people, a bit more cargo than that. There we go, 26,943,000 pounds. Generate the load sheet, and that's it. It now gets transferred to the FMC inside of here, and these guys will fuel up exactly what is said. And then they'll clear off when they've done. Now, fueling this big bird does take a little bit of time, as does the loading of people. So if we're going to do a full flight here, let's just get the catering service on board, and then we can start requesting the passengers to board as well. And they will then board via the stairs. There's no gate here, so eventually the passengers will turn up here, as will the catering service here. And because this is such a big plane, it all can really be done at the same time, rather than just having the fuel and the catering going and then doing the passengers. Because the passengers take so long, you can pretty much do everybody at the same time. Rip him. So, I mean, the exterior of the plane, I think, is really detailed. Frame-wise, it does take a little bit of a hit, but you can manage that by lowering some other settings and, you know, getting your frame rate back to whatever number that you're trying to achieve. But other than that, it really does perform well. I've had no issues really, apart from the connected flight deck with this, which I'll get into in the next video. But for this one, part one, you know, I think it's a really well-modeled plane, and, you know, I look forward to seeing if Airbus, or if Aerosoft, sorry, will do the A350, you know, or the A380. I mean, they must be working on that if they've done all the others, you know. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. In the next video, we are going to get inside the flight deck. We are going to set her up. We are going to take her for a very quick flight. So join me in my first look review of the A330 300 from Aerosoft.